Now, get ready for the hottest podcast coming out of Dallas, Texas, with Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nicky. Stars talking Cowboys. Let's go!
Yo, here we go again, back up on the scene. Stars talking Cowboys, you know what I mean. The podcast repping everything with silver and blue. Keeping it real, that's what they do. Let me tell you about the crew. Sean Fox, spitting facts. K Boogie's giving game. Nicky's got the stats, so of course she covers everything. It's showtime, so let's get to the biz. And that Stars talking Cowboys, yeah, you know what time it is.
Yo, welcome back to another podcast episode of Stars Talking Cowboys, starring Sean Fox, K Boogie, and Cowboys Nicky is in the building.
You gonna dig this? Let's go.
Good morning, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome to another edition of Stars Talking Cowboys. I am one of your hosts, Sean Fox. We got Cowboys Nicky in the building. We got K Boogie in the house.
Yes, sir.
And we have a special guest, even though he is a part of the Frenemy Club. We have Wayne. What's your radio name, Wayne?
I'm the wise and the woke one. That's me.
Okay.
I'm the wise and the woke one, aka Mr. Charles. So I have a podcast as well. I wanted to, put my shameless plug in there. You can check out my podcast on Facebook at the Wise and the Woke. It's more of a sports culture kind of show, but I think you guys will enjoy it. But yeah, I'm the wise and the woke one.
All right, wise and woke.
He's the wise and the woke one.
That's right.
Can't
just be wise without the woke, and can't be woke without the wise.
All right then. Well, like I said, once again, welcome to another edition of Stars Talking Cowboys. Hey, what can I say about football? This late in the season. If the NFL
At 8 p.m.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's right. If the NFL has ever wanted parity in the league, parity in the league, this is the year for it.
Yeah.
This has truly been an any given Sunday league this year. Anybody disagree with me on that?
No, I agree with you.
No, absolutely.
It cost me some money.
It's wide open, man. It's wide open. There's so many teams who got viable paths to the championship, and it's going to be an injury here, a break here, a call there, and who knows? Like the Bears right now, they're the commanders of 2025. They got a good team, and it almost seems like it came out of nowhere, but they've been steadily building. So, and the Patriots, same thing. It seems like they came out of nowhere, but they've been steadily building. And like you said, there's this parity all over the league.
It's too much parity, though. It's too much.
No, that's a great thing. You have more.
Man, I like the super teams. I like the super teams, man.
You like to
too
have
much parity, man.
You like to have all the fan bases involved. That's what makes it great.
It's not corporate America right now, are we? We in corporate America right now. We in a boardroom right now. That's what it sounds like. That's what it feels like.
Oh man,
I don't like all the parity, to be honest. It's too much. It's too much parity, man. I know the NFL wants it because they want to, sell tickets and merchandise and what have you, but it's too much parity, man.
But it's also exciting, okay? It's also exciting.
Yeah, you gotta say, and just in my opinion, granted, I am the most diehard Cowboy fan that I know. I don't feel like there's anybody more diehard than I am. But I've actually enjoyed watching football this year. And what I mean by enjoy watching football, who would have thought that the Colts at the beginning of the year was going undefeated, and now they've lost 2 in a row, and Jacksonville has always been Jacksonville. And now you have the Colts, and Jacksonville is now number one in that division. Who would ever thought that the AFC North would have the Ravens 6-6, the Steelers 6-6, the Bengals 4-8, and the Browns are being the Browns. If you can't call that parity, it's parity. The AFC South, Jaguars 8-4, Colts 8-4, Texans 7-5. The Chiefs being in third place in their division. Who would ever have thought that? We'll go over to the NFC. Obviously, we have the Cowboys and Eagles. Eagles 8-4. We're 6-5-1. We're a game and a half behind. The Bears and the Packers and the Lions. Lions have been the cream of the crop of that division for the last few years. And now you got the Bears who have leapfrogged everybody at 9-3. And then the I don't want to call it the lowly NFC South. You got 7-5 Buccaneers or 7-6 Panthers.
That's parity.
Yeah, and then the NFC West. You got now. Here's the killing part about the NFC West. You got a 9-3 Rams, a 9-3 Seahawks, and a 9-4 49ers.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
When have you heard a team being 9-4 and in third place in their division?
It's crazy.
What's up, Nikki? Yeah, what's up, Nikki?
What up? What's up, Miss Quiet?
Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Where's Mr. Cowboy too? Is he joining us?
He's not going to be joining us tonight.
Oh, I wanted to talk to him about something that we were looking at the amount of carries that the Cowboys will face this week, and they did a pretty good job stopping the run, but they didn't stop it completely. KC was moving the ball a little bit, but
KC was running on the outside, on the perimeter more than running inside. They stopped the inside running game, but it was on the perimeter. That's where they were getting most of their yards.
Yeah, they didn't overwhelm you, but they still were moving the ball.
Yeah, and I think that once we get into the games, we talked about this. Actually, we talked about this when we played the Eagles. We were wondering why Barkley, you guys didn't run on the outside against us with Barkley. I mean, our defense is built for any running back to hit the outside. And when we get into this Detroit game, that's the only thing that's scaring me, man. That's the only thing that's scaring me. But we'll get into that just a little bit later. Yes, he is. We'll get into that a little later. So with that being said, let's get into the games from last week.
Do we have to?
Yeah, it cost me money.
Just because we are such loving host, we would love to hear your take on the Eagles game this past week.
Yeah. It was a brutal game. I just, I didn't expect the defense to get pushed around like that. But when you look back on it, they've been playing a lot. They've gotten a lot of snaps out of the defense over the last couple of weeks. And it was sort of like the dam finally broke, and they just couldn't do it anymore. So, the thing is, these teams that are not on TV a lot, we don't see a lot, like the Chicago Bears, there's some rough customers. And that's why they're leading the NFC. They're actually leading. Although they have some challenges ahead of them on their schedule. I mean, they're a good football team, and we're seeing a young star develop before our eyes in Caleb. So, but overall, it was poorly executed game. It was a poorly coached game, and there's really no excuses for performances like that. I love Jalen Hurts. That's my man. But it was a terrible game on his part. It's just something that they're going to have to try to put behind them and just, you know, they got a couple of extra days to prepare for San Diego. I mean, I'm sorry, you know, the Chargers, and there's only thing they can do is look themselves in the mirror and say, hey, look, you know, we're going to have to turn this thing around very quickly. There's only 5 games left. They're going to have to turn it around very quickly, or, you know, you guys can catch us, you know. And that's why I was, you know, when we were talking about the ties and all of that, and then that's not a good thing, because that's how close we're talking about parity and how close these teams are. A half a game could be like a gulf, you know, that you can't get over and could derail you guys from making the playoffs. So, you know,
or on the other side, it could help us.
Exactly. I mean, especially if you go undefeated in the division.
In the division,
yeah.
Who's doing that?
We have a division loss.
We lost to the Eagles.
Oh yeah, I know. Y'all forget a lot. I forget that, you know, y'all have. I forget y'all have selective memory a lot.
Nah, I forgot about the first game because it was actually a win, but CD helped, you know, with all.
It was actually a win. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's actually a win. But, you know, that's my thing of the game. It was just, you know, one of those games where I'm really, it's probably one of the first games I thought the team actually quit. You know, just, you know, and it was a bad thing to see. I can't sugarcoat it at all. But, you know, with the Rams losing, you know, we still have the sights right in front of us. We still can achieve what we, you know, set out to achieve. And, you know, maybe I'll move my expectations a little lower from getting the first seed, but the second seed is still right there out there for us. So, you know, I'm not oh, the sky is falling. I'm concerned, absolutely concerned, but, you know, there's some positive things on the horizon that I think will at least keep us ahead of you guys.
Yeah, schedule is one of them.
That's right. All right. The schedule is one of them. Also, Lane Johnson, it's not light. Now it's light. And before the season started, it was the toughest in the NFL. So, you know, we should get something a little light around this time of the year because it was front loaded in the beginning of the year. And we beat those teams. And we have tiebreakers over a lot of the top teams in the NFC, including the Rams and Green Bay.
You know, let's get Nikki's thoughts on that game real quick, on the Eagles game real quick. Then we'll jump into all that.
My thoughts on the Eagles game?
Yes.
I mean, they did what I said they was gonna do.
No, you didn't. You said they were gonna win the game. We all said they were gonna win the game.
I did.
We all said they were gonna win the game.
What did I say? What I said. I said I expect Philly to win, but the Bears is a team that they can't sleep on.
Okay.
The Bears is a team that they constantly after they beat us, they kind of went on a roll of winning, and they have their confidence. Caleb Williams is playing great football. I got to give it to him. Ben Johnson went in there and turns him around. He went in there and turned the offense around. They got the defense balling. Who thought the Bears was gonna be the top seed right now in the NFC? Who thought that? Nobody. I just think I to be honest with the Eagles, I think it's more play calling than anything. And I also think that it's more going on inside that locker room than what they're trying to lead out to the public. It's more going on in that locker room than what they're trying to keep inside the locker room. Every chance AJ Brown get, he say a little something. He say a little bit here, a little bit there. I don't like that because I feel like you're still part of the team. You are a wide receiver. You and your quarterback should be the closest. You and your quarterback should be in sync. If it's a problem or issue, y'all should be able to talk about that behind the scenes and not bring it to the media. Was when you bring it to the media, that's when everything just go crazy. It goes crazy. But I don't believe the offense coordinator that y'all have. I don't believe he's the right offensive coordinator for y'all. He's not
Yeah.
at all. Um,
They were egging his house this week.
yeah, Nick said he still endorsed him. Said that he wasn't gonna make a move. He wasn't gonna change from him. But I don't expect him to be back after this season. I honestly don't. It'll surprise me if they do, but I don't expect him to be back after this season. Um, I think for y'all for the game itself, um, the game kind of could have went anyway either way until the Bears kind of start shutting y'all down, just shutting Saquon down on the run game. When they start shutting him down on that, that's when everything just kind of tilted towards, hey, the Bears is gonna probably gonna pull this out. Um, y'all was in scoring, could have scored more than once, but
We just
it just didn't happen. And again, I don't believe it's all on the players. I do believe it's coaching. I do believe it's play calling. I really do, because I think he's trying to neutralize Jalen to trying to make him a pocket passer more than anything, and he's not a pocket passer. You have to let a quarterback that run and use their legs. You have to let them do what they do at times in the game to help you. Um, I don't know. It's just I think it's the things that's going on behind the scene that we don't know all the way. I think that's playing a role on the field now. I could be wrong, but
I just
I
think
think,
it's a whole. I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead. No, you.
No,
Go ahead.
everything is just a mystery why they can't do certain things when it's seemingly so simple. I did want to say something about what I heard from Nick Foles to try to improve that offensive coordinator's kind of situation. You know, he's been the quarterback coach or the passing coordinator for the last few years, and he's always been up top in the booth, you know. And I think what Nick said is right, that maybe he should return there, get a different perspective, get back into his comfort zone. Also, stay away from all the emotion on the sidelines. You don't have to see, you know, Jalen looking at him funny. You don't have to see AJ Brown reading a book. You know, you could be up there in the booth and try to stay focused and just. It seems as though he just calls plays. Like after the first 15 to 20 scripted plays, he has no clue of what to do, and he just calls plays. And I'm just hoping, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I think it is a very good idea for him to just kind of remove himself from the sidelines, get up there in the booth where he's been all these years. He may feel more comfortable. He may see some things that he don't see from the sideline. So I think she's right. I don't think he's going to be next year unless they, you know, go some miracle, go on a roll. And but, you know, what I'd like to see is a coach that failed, an offensive coordinator that failed as a head coach and is available now, and that's Brian Dable. I would love to see him as our next offensive coordinator.
Really?
He's going to Penn State.
Oh, I didn't know. Is that's the rumor? Hey, you know, I'm just saying that type of person, someone who didn't succeed as a head coach, was an offensive coordinator. They tried it. Now come to the Philadelphia Eagles, a sound organization, you know, where you can have a solid, just like our defensive coordinator, same kind of thing where, you know, he's settled in that position now. This is what he's going to be, and he's not aspiring to be something else. Who's a coach for Miami, too? He'd be perfect, you know. He's a fit. He's a. I don't know. Well, you know, McDaniels. He may be available. I'd love to see somebody like that. We can't keep going in this this perpetual thing. Each year we have an offensive coordinator because it is wearing down on Jalen. It makes him look like he regresses at times, but it's because he's trying to grapple with new languages every damn year. There's no continuity, and you know that's why his play is always up and down, up and down.
Yeah. Well, K Boogie, what you think of it? Your perspective from the Eagles game?
I'm surprised that the Eagles didn't actually, try to run the ball a little bit more, throw some screens, because the Bears were without 3 of their starting linebackers. So I'm surprised that they did not actually go at that weakness, and they didn't.
They never do.
I was surprised. I was just surprised that the Bears were able to be physical against them in the trenches. That's another thing. I mean, I watched the Bears play a lot. I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, this can't be the same offensive line and defensive line playing against the Eagles. They were really, really being really physical against the Eagles, and I was really surprised.
Don't they have the second best rushing attack in the league? Something like that?
Yeah,
they've been doing it all year, man. They've been pushing people around all year.
But listen, inside against the Eagles, inside with those two behemoths inside.
Yeah, I don't know where they were. That was crazy.
Let's call it what it is. I was surprised. Listen, I watched those cats play at Georgia, and they are hard to move, so you have to run on the outside. But the Bears was running in the inside because Caleb really didn't have a good game either. It was a running game. They ran for 280 yards.
Yeah, they ran all over us. That
was surprising to me. That was really surprising to me. That was surprising to me.
But like I said before, I think that defense is just it's tired, man. It's tired.
It could be tired, but they didn't try any screen passes on offense either. And I'm like, wait a minute, the Bears don't have their starting linebackers. Hit them where they're weak. I didn't see anything. The offense was vanilla, to be honest with you.
I told you last week they never exploit mismatches. They just don't do it. And I don't know why they think they could line up and blow everybody off the line like they did last year. It is not the same team.
Yeah, but that's where the head coach has to step in and say, listen, we need to change this game plan right now.
He's doing a poor job.
Or else it could be another collapse. And you don't want that either.
He's doing a poor job.
Yeah. But let me get my
the Bears were. That's what I was just really surprised.
Let me get my take on this game real quick. You guys know I'm a numbers guy. So I'm just gonna go over a few numbers. And then I'm gonna start with the Bears, and then I'll move over to Philadelphia. Caleb Williams was 17 of 36. A little bit under 50% with 154 yards and a 4.3 average yards per play. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, took 2 sacks. I'm not taking away from the kid because they won that game. But any other quarterback in the NFL with those type stats would not have won a game. Let's just be 100% with that.
Wouldn't have won the game, you saying?
Wouldn't have won a game.
Yeah, but if you have 2 running backs running for 100 apiece,
hold on, time
2
out.
of them, you can't win a game.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
A quarterback going with less than Shedeur Sanders, if he would have had these stats, Cleveland would not have won that game. And that's what I'm saying. Any other quarterback in the NFL on most teams would not have won that game with those stats. Now let's go to the Bears. You had 2 running backs. The backup running back, as a matter of fact, had more carries than the starting running back. The backup quarterback had 22 carries at almost 6 yards a carry. The starting running back had 18 carries for almost 7 yards a carry. So the Bears did exactly what they were supposed to do. When they seen that the Eagles couldn't stop the run, they just kept pounding the ball. And that goes into the time of possessions. The Bears had the ball for almost 40 minutes. They had the ball. Their offense had the ball 2/3 of the time for the game.
That's what I'm telling you. Defense was tired.
Which in turn makes the Eagles' defense tired. but that's not in my opinion, the telltale sign of the game. The telltale sign of the game for me is, and I'm not going to go over all the Eagle stats. I'm just going to give you the touches. Saquon Barkley had 13 carries. He had 0 receptions. A.J. Brown had 12 targets with 10 receptions.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Smith had 8 targets with 5 receptions. Your tight end Dallas had 4 targets with 2 receptions. So it sounds like to me that you're off, and I'm on the outside looking in, but it sounds like your offensive coordinator is trying to make everybody happy.
I don't know. He's not making anybody happy. I think I told you last week, man, if you don't have an offensive line, you don't have a team. And right now, our offensive line is in shambles. And one of the bright spots, I'm hoping, I heard that Lane Johnson is coming back in a couple of weeks. That is, to me, that's huge because I know our record when he's not in the lineup. So, but that's what we just got dominated on both sides of the ball, on both sides of the line of scrimmage. And that was it, man. And from there, it's not much you can do. You can't protect the quarterback. You can't move people to create any kind of lanes for your running backs. And you got a offensive coordinator who can't make any kind of adjustments. So it's just like it's a bad brew right now. And I'm just hoping that, we catch a couple of breaks, one being that Lane Johnson comes back healthy and that, maybe Herbert doesn't play, who knows? You got a broken in. Yeah, really. What do you mean? Yeah, really.
He gonna play.
Oh, I thought you meant why. Oh, Herbert, yeah. I mean, he might. Okay, let him play out there with a cast on. That'd be good. We're gonna go after him. And
Aaron Rodgers just played with
and you saw what happened. You saw what happened.
All right. So before we get into the other further games, let's circle back and let's talk about the Thursday game, the Cowboys and against the Chiefs. So, K-Boogie, let's start with you. Your assessment of Cowboys and Chiefs.
We didn't give up. We fought to the end. That's actually my assessment right now. There's a lot of games that we're winning right now that we would normally lose, especially to the Chiefs. We have a lot of fight right now. We have a lot of fight, no giving up. And that's what I like about this new team, I would say. The new team of the Cowboys are a little different, though. But, Wayne, it's the truth, though. A lot of these games we were losing in the past. The last 3 games have showed me a lot with the additions, especially my man Q Williams, Roll Tide, that the Cowboys are playing differently because they feel different. You know what I'm saying? They're acting different. They're playing with more heart than they usually would play with. Come on, Wayne, you know I'm telling the truth because the Cowboys would lose games like this. We playing the Chiefs. We can't stop Mahomes, really. Mahomes had a good game.
The Cowboys are playing better, but guys, I just you'll play so much better. Somebody else.
Yeah, no, yeah. That's just
but
let's go around the room and then Wayne will let you get your assessment.
Okay.
It was more fight, and I like the fight in it right now. Going back and forth with the Chiefs, it's a lot of fight. We lose games like that usually. We lose games. Q is a leader, and he did the same thing when he was at Alabama. That's something that we were missing on defense. I'm not calling anybody out because that's not what I do, but Q has brought leadership to our defense, and that's what we needed. He's talking, communicating, you know what I'm saying? And we missed that. We miss a leader on our defense because we already got a leader on offense. So this is why I'm trying to say that basically the camaraderie that we have right now on our team is better than it was in the past. And when you have that type of camaraderie, you play more for each other. And because we're playing for each other, right now, I feel good. even if we don't make the playoffs, I feel good where this team is headed, to be honest with you. It just feels better. The atmosphere is better. The players are better. I can't wait for Diggs to come back so he can actually play a little bit better. But that was my assessment, actually. We didn't fight. I mean, we fought. We didn't give up. We didn't give up. We just played hard all 4 quarters, and we didn't give up. We didn't. I wish my man Blueprint could be out there too, because I love speed. I think sometimes when you have a lot of speed out there, you can't neutralize all the speed. And I wish Blue was out there, but Davis, he's proving me wrong too. He's out there, taking advantage of his opportunities right now. But right now, I'm going to say Q coming to our team is giving us a great lift. Him and Overshown, by the way they're playing right now.
All right, Nikki.
Okay. So for this game, I think when Dak threw, of course, the interception to start off with, normally once that one thing happens, then everything else starts spiraling down. I was upset with Kayvon Turpin until he saved that ball for us, because I was just like, why do you keep getting us pinned like this? Having to start so far back. If you can't catch the ball, or you're not going to run the ball out, whatever, just get away from. Don't just move. But when he saved the game, actually, he really did. He saved the game, so I wasn't mad at him no more. But we I think what I'm seeing in this team is something that we haven't seen in this team in a long time. It's not just coaching, but it's actually, we have players that want to win. We have players that's out here ready, wanting to, scrapping and fighting to get that W. They not giving up. They not stopping. They not. I remember seeing a team like this where we get down in a game, especially a team like Kansas City Chiefs. Their mindset was, we can't beat them, but they have a different mindset now. Their mindset is, we can beat them. We have to stop the mental mistakes. And I think once they stopped the mental mistakes, everything got back rolling. Dak was mic'd up for this game. So you can go listen to the sideline sounds. And you can go listen to everything that happened on the sideline, even from when he threw the interception, even from when, Mahomes magically didn't fall down and got the ball down the field to Rice. Rice was wide open. Dak was mic'd up. And so many people try to say Dak wasn't a leader. Dak not a leader, or he wasn't a leader. He's selfish, or he don't care about nobody else but himself, or all this extra stuff. But each and every time Dak went to that sideline and something didn't happen right or didn't go right, he went to that sideline and he told them, he said, do your part and we're going to do our part. Defense, do what you're supposed to do, and offense, we're going to do what we're supposed to do. We already know. He was like, we already know special teams. We already know what Aubrey going to do. We got to do our part, And I think that's the biggest thing that's happening now with this team. I don't think we have, a lot of people was down on Brian getting hired as the head coach, but I told y'all on this same show that give him a chance. I told y'all on this same show that he comes from a football background, and he gonna make minor mistakes as a new head coach, but give him a chance. And I don't think they would have a better coach right now coaching this team. Just some things that I'm still on the defensive side. Even though we have Q and Overshown back, we're still missing too many tackles. That's one of the biggest things for me. We're still missing too many tackles. And when you have a chance to get Patrick Mahomes and get him behind the line and whatever, and you let him slip away and still get the ball down the field. We have to do better. We have to do better on that. On that, I agree with Brian on that. Tackling, in some aspects, are still bad on the defensive side. Ain't really so much to say bad about the offensive side, no more than they need to hold on to the ball. You know, um, Pickens fumbled. You know, that could have changed the whole game. You know, um, we playing inspired football right now. I'm not saying that's, I'm not saying that we're not gonna lose any more games. Right? I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that we are playing inspired football right now. And when you play inspired football, it trickles down to the whole team. And that's what they're doing now. I think play calling was exceptionally good in this game. I did like the play calling in this game. I liked how the offense, now our offense coordinator, I look for him to be I look for him to be on the board for being a head coach next year somewhere. Somebody reaching out to him to be a head coach. Because he is doing a great job with this offense and getting these players open, allowing these allowing these players to get open. 'Cause y'all know that was one of the things we always had with our team. The receivers didn't know how to get open, but it's happening now, and it's because we have a good offensive coordinator. Um, y'all know how I feel about Eberflus. I don't care if the defense doing good or not. His ass needs to go next year. Um, I still don't. I still don't feel like he's done enough turnaround with the defense for me, for him to stay and keep his job. Kind of like the offense coordinator in Philly. He ain't done enough to keep his job to me, you know. But it was a good game. Me and Tisha was there. We had great seats. Um, we had a great time, and it was exciting to walk out the stadium because I mean Chiefs fans, they showed up, and if you seen the game on TV, I know you seen a lot of red. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all seen a lot of red. You
A
know,
lot.
yeah, they showed up. They
They travel
did.
well.
So that was like one of the best feelings to walk out of there, even though they had so many Chief fans there just to walk out and say, "Hey, we fought to the end," and Dak beat Patrick Mahomes. I think this was a win that Dak needed as well on his resume because he's never beaten Patrick Mahomes. So this is a win he needed on his resume as well. Um, but it was a good game. It was a good game. It was very, very entertaining from the start to finish. It was a great game. Um, I like how now, like when something happened, they go to the sideline, they talking about it, they fixing it, they telling each other, don't worry about it. This was on me, but we're gonna get it fixed for the next round. Just do your part, I do my part. So I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. You know, I don't know where we go from here, but we playing pretty good damn football right now, and football is a sport that when you start winning in December and January, that's when you know what type of team you really have. That's it.
All right. Wayne, I'll let you go before I go.
Yeah, I mean, I thought you guys did fight, and it was a great game. Nikki pretty much said it all. If I was a Cowboy fan, I would feel good. I will feel good. You guys are literally back in the race for the NFC East. But, as a fan looking outside, we've seen this before. Here we go with reality. We've seen this before. And the thing about it is when y'all play in that stadium in Jersey, y'all are a different team altogether. And it's been that way Dak's entire career. He's not a very good road quarterback. It's just his MO, and the numbers bear it out. I think he's 36 and 34 on the road, something like that, throughout his career. And even this year, the only 2 road wins you have is against the Jets and the Raiders, I believe. So I get the enthusiasm. And we talk about, what's on his resume, and that's on his resume, that he's not a very good road quarterback. He's not a very big game on the road quarterback. And so for me,
he's 35 and 32 to be exact.
Okay, he's 35 and 32, somewhere in there. Like I said, that's mediocre. And like I said, this year is very similar. That it's kind of mirrors his whole career. They've won 2 games on the road against the Jets and the Raiders. So now, if you go on the road with this new enthusiasm and this playing tough, and you go into a place like Detroit and you beat them, I'll have a different perspective on how things are going and how you guys are playing right now. It's commendable what you've done over the last 3 weeks. And like I said, you should feel good, but I've seen this before out of the Cowboys. You've seen this before out of the Cowboys. You're saying you feel like it's a different team, K Boogie. I feel like it's the same team, K Boogie.
Okay.
And next week, or not even next week,
Thursday.
this week, we'll see if that enthusiasm carries over onto the road.
So let me say this before you go, Sean, if you don't mind. Even with losing these games on the road, is Dak the only player playing on the road?
Excuse me?
Is Dak the only player playing on the road?
Is that the only player?
Is Dak the only player playing on the road?
No, he's not the only.
Okay.
No.
Because your statement is that everything is what Dak doesn't do. But it's times we were on the road and we could have won a game on the road if our defense have gotten a stop. If our defense had not gotten a penalty to leave the other team on the field. If our defense get them off the field at 3rd downs. So I don't like the narrative that everybody always want to put it on just Dak. Like, yes, Dak is the quarterback. Yes, Dak is the leader of the team. Yes, you got to have a quarterback in order to win games, in order for your team to put points up on the board, because he's on the offensive side. But at the same time, it's a team for a reason. It's a team for a reason. It's just like with Jalen right now. It doesn't matter if Jalen put points on the board, but your defense not getting stops and letting whoever go down the field and still score. It doesn't matter what Jalen doing, because your defense ain't doing their job. So I'm not gonna get on here and say, well, Jalen can't win games, and it's Jalen. Like, no, the team can't win games. The team is not doing what they supposed to do. You got 3 parts of a team that need to win. That's your special teams, that's your offense, that's your defense. Then on top of that, you need your coaching staff to be able to understand situational football and understand the right plays to call at the right time to call. And in football, as we always say on this show, you can play good, but it also comes with just what? What's your favorite word, Sean? It comes with what? A little bit of luck.
Yeah, a little bit of luck. Yeah, I was about to say a little bit of luck. And just to add to, and then I'll let you go, Wayne. And to add to Nikki's statement about coaching matters, Dan Campbell didn't think that his offensive coordinator was doing a good job in Detroit, and he took over the play calling.
Right.
How has that turned out for Detroit?
How's it been? 3 weeks? How many weeks has it been?
It's been 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Were they 1 and 2 in those 3 weeks?
1 and 2, yeah. And 2 of the games he lost. They lost because he decided he wanted to go for it on 4th down.
He's a lunkhead.
You know,
But that's him, though.
Yeah.
That's his personality.
but
That's
that's the example. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
And one of
Coaching
those games was
matters.
the Eagles. He went for it on
Yeah.
4th down just about every time he played, y'all.
Yeah, he did. He was 0 for 5, I
Right.
think.
Yeah, he
That's
was
who he
0
is,
for
though.
5. But that's who
Yeah.
he is.
Guys.
He coached
Yeah.
his team 2 games.
That's who he is.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying as far as you know on that stat there, and I gotta 100% agree with not only Nikki, and we're not saying it's just to you, Wayne. We're saying this to a lot of Cowboys fans. I hate the fact that when we win, especially when we were losing in the beginning of the season, and Dak was still considered as an MVP candidate amongst the experts because he was the only person on our team. Somebody has to get the ball to CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. Our offensive line was horrible at the beginning of the year. So I'm not one of those individuals who I'm a team guy. If Dak is doing good, I'll put up his stats. We'll talk about his stats for Thursday's game. He was 27 of 39, two touchdowns, and an interception. Those are respectable numbers. Respectable. I'm not saying those were great numbers, but those are respectable numbers. But the running game, we ran it 26 times for 137.
That's good.
It is good. But for us to win the game, our quarterback had to throw it 39 times. He had to complete 27 passes. So I hate the narrative of Dak is not this or Dak is that. It's a team concept.
Okay.
And that's just my opinion. Yeah.
Look, I defend Dak. I defended him a couple of weeks ago against Damon. What's his name?
Dan Orlovsky.
No, the basketball player. I called him a bum.
I know you're talking about.
Oh, man, yeah. I'll pay
Anyway,
attention to basketball players in football.
Right. So, I defended him. He's a quality quarterback. He's a great quarterback. And you're right. It's a team sport and coaching comes involved. But you just told us, we just went over his record on the road. That's a large pool, right? So while the defense, the coaches, the one constant is Dak Prescott. That's the one constant in all of this mediocre role things. The pieces may change, but he's the one constant. And it's not a narrative, it's his resume. It's not a narrative, it's his record. It's not a narrative, it's the data. So, again, I'm looking on the outside, like you said. I'm not in the inside, and Nikki's an inside and all. But from the outside, looking at these numbers and looking at the games, there was another. He like you said, there's a lot of luck. He throws a lot of pick-worthy passes. He did it against us. We dropped it. He did it again this game down in the red zone, and he just needs to. Maybe there's a breakout year where he finally gets over this, but right now, it just seems that he's like Kirk Cousins with a better wardrobe. Just like when the lights are the brightest, he doesn't play his best, and that's not a narrative. That's the data.
The lights been bright. The lights been bright these past 3 weeks. The lights been bright.
Notice it has. You had to win these. Let me finish. Okay, let her finish.
Wait,
I'm
hold on
sorry.
for a second. Before you judge Dak Prescott right now, right? Let the season play out. We have new energy. Wait. We have new energy. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Correct, Wayne? It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Correct.
So let's judge that moving forward.
Okay, if that's what you want to do, we'll do that. But you can't say what it was a narrative.
because our defense was holding us back. It wasn't the offense. It was our defense was trash. Let's call it what it is, Wayne. Our defense was trailer trash. Now we have some additions on our defense.
I have to say that about
we will start to judge Dak Prescott moving forward because our defense is a lot better than it was before. It was trailer trash, Wayne. We made every quarterback look like a Hall of Fame quarterback. Every last one of them. And Dak had to play with that defense. He was trying hard because he had to be in all those games. This is what I'm saying. Let's actually judge Dak Prescott from here on out because our defense has improved. And that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you.
All right, that's fine. We'll judge him from out. But what we were saying, this what I was saying is a narrative. It's not a narrative. It's his resume. Now, again, I told you, if he goes into Detroit, even if they're banged up, whatever the situation is with Detroit, if he goes in there and he wins, they win that game. There's not much I can say going forward. Like you said, he's won a game, a huge game, Thursday night game. Nobody else is playing. Everybody's going to be watching. These are the games that he doesn't usually win. He did on Thanksgiving, great. But he usually doesn't win it. We win over the numbers. So, I don't like when I say something and people call it nonsense or it's a narrative. I don't do that. We don't do that here. I base my opinions on facts, on data, on history, and the things what I see with my own eyes. So if he does
so my rebuttal to that is that a lot of people are calling Jalen Hurts a running back that's playing as a quarterback. Is that facts or narrative?
That's a narrative.
Okay.
Because I've seen him.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. And I'm not cutting you off, and I'll let you finish that. But that's exactly the point. Just like, we have to respect you saying that on the outside looking in, that Dak is this and Dak is that. On the outside looking in on our part. And Jalen Hurts is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's been to the Super Bowl. Okay. A Super Bowl winning quarterback and has been to the Super Bowl more times than Dak has. I'm going to give him every prop in the world for that so we can take that out of this argument. But
I'm not trying to compare the two.
Yeah. I'm not comparing. I'm just saying the narrative, as you said, the narrative is, and from this season, it seems like he can't throw the ball down the field. The facts are that he is not very accurate quarterback throwing the ball outside the numbers. He's a very good quarterback, maybe throwing that, maybe the
the deep balls.
You're talking about the 9 routes?
No, not the deep balls. The posts. He's very good at the post. He's good at throwing in the flats. But those intermediate throws, he's not a very good quarterback at throwing those. So that's why a lot of people are saying that he is a running back who is playing quarterback. Okay. And as an Eagles fan, you're going to defend that until the wheels fall off. You're going to say, just as you just said, that he is a MVP winning Super Bowl quarterback.
That's the thing I'm trying to say. I'm going to defend him. I'm going to defend him with facts and data and show you that he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks over the last 4 years. He's one of the most winning quarterbacks over the last 4 years.
Because he had a team. He had a team. He had a team around him. He had the right receivers around him. He had the coaching staff. He had the play calling. He had
the offensive line.
He had a line. Y'all had a badass D-line. Nobody not taking that from y'all. Y'all walked right into that Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, and y'all put y'all foot on their neck from the beginning and never let up. That's what y'all did. But if the D-line didn't do what they was doing, then Jalen wouldn't have been able to do what he did. Y'all fed off each other. How many times that the defense had go back on the field and get a stop, and Jalen still can't get the ball down the field and get a score? He just showed us that Friday night, Black Friday night.
This year I can't, argue with you at all, but we're talking about a pool of work, a body of work. And that's what I was talking about, Dak. And, we're talking about the body of work here. This year is just I can't really, you can't make any excuses. He's playing terrible. Before you got here, I told him that he played terrible. And you know, I really think this revolving offensive coordinator thing is really hindering his career, even though it's still, you know, a sort of a Hall of Fame type career, his trajectory there. But these they're holding him back. The way that the GM and the owner, they gotta you know, get this thing right with the offensive coordinator. They got to get some continuity, because you can't play consistent ball like that from the quarterback position.
So you are saying that coaching matters, right?
Yes, of course, coaching matters.
Okay. So that's
football more than probably in football more than any sport.
So to Saquon.
Right.
So
yeah, and I think
you see what happens.
Yeah, and I think that I think that, and I'm gonna get into, you know, my thoughts of the game, but I think that if you really want me to say what I think the Eagles' problem is from the outside looking in, I think that winning that Super Bowl is you guys' biggest issue this year.
Hangover.
Yeah, I really do, because last year it was all about Saquon Barkley. It was all about his yards from scrimmage. It was all about him being humble and not breaking the record, the Russian record. It was all about, now he's doing State Farm commercials, Chunky Soup commercials. He's doing everything that a Super Bowl winning running back who could have been. I would have given him the MVP over Josh Allen if it was my opinion. If I had a vote for the MVP last year, I would have gave Saquon Barkley the MVP over Josh Allen. Now, this is coming from a Cowboys fan who cannot stand the fucking Eagles organization. So I'm giving you some props. I'm giving Saquon some props. I think this year, with your offensive line being hurt, you don't have the continuity on the offensive line that you had last year. I think that AJ Brown, with him being I don't want to talk about the man behind his back because he's not here. So I'm not going to say the word that I really want to say. But I think that
we're amongst friends here. You can tell them what you want to call them.
Well, yeah. I don't use this word. I don't use this word. I don't say this word out loud. I think it, but I don't say it out loud. But him acting like a little bee sitting over there on the sideline pouting because he's not getting the ball and he's not a focus of the offense and he's not this and he's reading books and sending out tweets and this and that and other. That to me is a Terrell Owens situation all over again. Yeah. And it's causing some dissension among the team. It's causing some dissension among the Eagles organization. To me, it's no different than, and I love this guy this name that I'm about to say, but it's no different than how some of our team felt about Parsons. You know, and it does affect the locker room.
It does. It does affect.
No matter how much we try to sugarcoat it and this and that and other, that kind of crap. Do you know who I feel sorry in all of this? All of the egos. I feel sorry for Smith. That kid has just been. He's just been consistent.
Devontae.
Devontae. Yeah, he's just been consistent year after year after year. Doesn't say anything. Just goes out there and does his job.
Yeah.
And he I think that he should get more touches.
He should. He should. I mean, you know, y'all forget it. We won a Super Bowl last year, but he was acting the same way. AJ Brown was acting the same way.
Yeah.
He was doing the same exact things he's doing. He just, when he got a couple of losses, when things weren't going, he's really, you know, showing his ass. And I was going to do a segment when I was at the stadium. I was going to ask the people, you know, how they do those, you know, ask the question on the man on the street type questions. And I was going to ask, is AJ Brown a diva or is AJ Brown a bitch? You know, is he just a player that really wants the ball and really wants to win and, you know, has an ego, or is he a bitch and don't care about the rest of the team? It was Jalen Hurts who even got him on the team. So I don't know. His behavior is.
How can you put those two words together?
What?
Bitch ass diva.
Damn.
Either you're a diva or you're a bitch. And
what's the difference between the two if that's the case?
the difference between the two is one is not trying to destroy your team. A bitch is trying to destroy your team. A divas is somebody who's, you know, they want the ball, they think they're the man, fine. But, you know, and that's like last week when you know, the other Eagle guy, Jeff, was telling me, oh, they're not going to get rid of him. If he's destroying your locker room, they will find a way to get rid of you. And you know, this guy is just amazing. The way this is what my point was. The way he acts is as if somebody didn't get paid, didn't get his contract. He got paid. He won a Super Bowl. I don't know what goes through this man's mind. I get that you're frustrated. You know, we all know that you should get the ball more, but come on, man, you wait your time.
But he was the only one that was getting that Jalen was throwing to on Friday. He was the only one that Jalen was targeting and throwing to, and it felt like it looked and felt like Jalen was being bullied to get the ball to get the ball to him, whatever. Then as soon as the game over, Jalen got you the ball. You had 2 touchdowns or whatever, and as soon as the game over and y'all lost, the first thing he goes on Twitter and says, "Well, I guess me catching the ball still don't matter.
Yeah,
I guess
like,
me catching the ball still don't matter. I guess I just need to shut up. I guess I just need to not say nothing." He goes on Twitter as soon as the game over when it says that. And I'm thinking like, they ain't even left the locker room yet. Y'all couldn't talk in the locker room and figure these things out. Like it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. And you can't win when you have people like that on your team. You can't win when you have selfishness on your team. That's why it's part of the team.
And that's why it was, you know, you spoke about a Super Bowl hangover, and, you know, always after Super Bowl, you fear that. But I thought that, you know, it wouldn't affect this team as much because of Jalen, because of his leadership, and because they keep the main thing. But this guy, he's messing with that. And also, like you said, Barkley, man, Barkley is a different kind of dude too, man. This is on another thing, but when he was one of the very few black players that went to the White House. He didn't even just go to the White House. He went to the helicopter, played a round of golf. So that continuity, that friendship, and all that camaraderie that was the year before, I think some of that was lost because I think there might have been two. The only black player that is still on the team that went to the White House that's still on the team is him.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're right, Nick, about the locker room. The dynamics of a locker room is just not what goes on the field. You know, it's what goes on in the locker room and outside when they get together, and they don't look at him the same way anymore. And I know they don't. And I know Jalen doesn't. I know AJ Brown doesn't, and Smitty don't.
But that's not why they're not winning. That's not
why they're not winning. But I'm just making a point that Nikki said when there's stuff going on in the locker room, that could be the type of stuff she's talking about, where they just don't feel the same about each other anymore.
Mm-hmm. And it's been so much said, but you know, it's been so much said to where it just doesn't pan out well. It's because it's so much that has been said to the media. So many things have been said. Just like when y'all supposedly had that meeting, but they supposedly had that meeting. He comes and say, "What meeting?
Right.
What they said? I wasn't there." So
I don't think he's a nice guy either.
You know, it's I don't know.
He's a hell of an athlete.
Yeah.
But
I just think maybe teams are just focusing on Saquon now. That's the problem too. They just focusing on Saquon. Saquon is not going to surprise you like he did last year, running for almost 2,000 yards. This year's a little different. Everybody knows who Saquon is. That's another thing. We can talk about the locker room and whatever else, but you still got to play and produce on the field. And I have a feeling that these other defensive coordinators, seeing what Saquon did last year, and they're more game planning him than Hurts. They're saying, you know what? We're going to let Hurts beat us. We're not going to let Saquon beat us. Let's stop with all the other stuff. Let's talk about what's going on the field right now.
We're gonna let Hurts beat us.
Exactly.
We're gonna let him beat us with it. We're gonna let him beat us with his arm.
That's what's
So
going on. They
it
said
goes
we
back
have
to
to
what
let Hurts
Sean
beat us.
said. But I know Sean, you want to say something real quick. Dak is 12-6 on Thursday night games. So you saying he don't shine on bright lights or whatever? That's out the window.
Well, no, it's not out
He's
the
12.
window because
He's 12-6 on
it's
Thursday
not
night
out.
games. Let me see. Yeah, he's 12-6 on Thursday night games. So he does show up on bright lights and nights. And
And
that
two of
the only
those,
team is playing. He
two of
does
those,
show up.
two of those losses were the Thursday night at the beginning of this, this beginning of the season, that first game of the year. So two of
We
those
played
are those.
the Eagles.
Yeah,
So
we opened up the season with the Eagles.
yeah.
But it wasn't. We
So
didn't lose because of Dak though. We lost because of Lamb. It wasn't that
And that
reason why
fumble.
we lost.
Miles
And the
Sanders
fumble,
fumbling the
the
ball.
Miles
Miles
Sanders
Sanders,
fumble.
yeah.
But
I think going back to Wayne's part, and then I'm gonna talk about how I felt about the game, our game. I'm just talking about team now, not so much as Wayne's part. I think another thing that is really hurting the Eagles this year is that your team is going to get everybody's best because
Right.
you are the Super Bowl champions,
Yeah.
and people are going to play you harder. People are going to spend more time on. If the Eagles won the Super Bowl last year, what do we have to do to get to that same level? So teams will scheme for you differently. Teams will play for you harder. Teams will do whatever they can because they want to be, and even us, we want to be as. That's why Jerry fucking wanted to open up the season against y'all because he wanted to. All right, the best. The Eagles are the best, and they won the Super Bowl. So we got to go out there and show them that we can compete with the best. And that's the mentality of these teams when it comes to the Eagles. So you guys are now the hunted. You aren't doing hunting right now. You are being hunted. You got that target on your back, and that's something that even if we have a losing season, we have that target on our back every single year, and that's why I respect Tony Romo and Dak Prescott during this whole TV social media era because they've had to endure so much of what the team did do or didn't do. When in actuality, I think our best team was a Dez Carter year. To me, that was the best team that we've had over. I'm talking about even over the 13-3 team that we had when Dak and Zeke were rookies. I felt that team was the best year. That was the best team that we've had, and that was the best chance for us to get to the Super Bowl. And the ball just, going back to that, you got to have a little luck to win. The ball just did not bounce in our way with that fumble by Murray and the Dez Bryant drop. So I get it. The Eagles are. I think it's some of that is a little inside stuff. We're not in that locker room, so we can't 100% say it. But I also think that the pressure of being the hunted now is starting to catch up just a little bit with you. I'm starting to doubt your coach because if you know this as an Eagles fan that over the last 4, 5, 6 games, I think y'all went through one little stretch where you only scored like 16 points a game or something like that, and y'all still won.
Yeah.
This is when your coach to step in and say, okay, hey, what the hell is going on? Didn't he take the play call? Didn't he force Kellen Moore last year to run Saquon when he was being pass happy at the beginning of the year?
I don't remember, but I mean, the overall thing is you're right. You're the head coach. You're going in a spiraling. Something has to change. Anything. Like I said before, even if it's moving him from the sideline on up, he's reluctant to take the play calling himself. He wasn't very good at it himself. And what is going on now is supposedly this guy's his friend, so he's letting his personal
Mike McCarthy situation.
yeah, it's it's his friend, and he wants to give it all, and I guess you can have excuses because your offensive line is banged up and stuff like that. But come on, man. I mean, everybody. There's just casual people who watched our offense and says that it's not a pro level offense. And this is so crazy to believe that just 10 months ago, my man Jalen was lighting up a championship cigar, we rolling on the Chiefs. 10 months later, because you just changed, you can't score no points now. Everybody's baffled, and it leads to dudes getting their houses egged.
Y'all miss Kellen Moore. Just say it. Just say it.
I mean, I'd rather have Kellen. I'd rather have Kellen Moore than this guy here. Yeah.
We did not miss Kellen Moore.
I know you didn't.
That's something we don't miss him. I don't miss. We don't miss him at all.
Cheat code, so he knew how to.
That's what I'm saying. Saquon, how much do you have to do when you have a 2,000-yard rusher?
Saquon's a cheat code. Him and Bijan Robinson to me cheat codes.
In that offensive line when they were playing. I mean, I know, like Jordan Mailata is a perfect example. This guy's excellent tackle, right? He's probably one of the highest graded tackles before this season. All of a sudden, I see Barkley has to chip for him, have to help him out. Like, that's never he wasn't doing that before. So I know he's not right. Lane is out. Jurgens came off back surgery. The two guards they got in there are garbage. So Saquon is last year, he was averaging 4 yards before he got touched. Now he's like the bottom. Now he's at the bottom of the league in that same category. So, I mean, I'm just, like I said before, I'm hoping Lane Johnson comes back and could do something. And I'm hoping somebody could slap this offensive coordinator around and say, get your playmakers the ball, get Barkley in space. How about, do a reverse to Smith, do something, run a screen, have a man in motion. Wow. But it just doesn't penetrate this coaching staff. I don't know.
So Nikki and Kenyatta, that last statement he just said, don't that sound like this a couple years ago?
I was saying a lot that
about our office.
Sound like us.
With Kellen Moore?
Yes. Mike McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy. Yes. Yeah, same thing, man. It's like, it's so frustrating when you have athletes but they can't get the ball in their hands.
All right.
No creativity on offense, no motion.
It's like Kansas City. Like, you could see their play calling. And Dallas had a great game too, play calling. They're scheming their players open. You know how many wide open? I saw so many wide open receivers that the Cowboys had. I'm like, how are they doing this? I know they were
nice,
they were blitzed.
Nice though.
Oh yeah, Pickens is ridiculous. and he's going to get paid, and that's going to be a dilemma for you all.
We'll talk about that later.
Talk
about that later.
Oh yeah. Well, the good thing about that, and let's get into a different subject. The good thing about the Pickens situation, I think Pickens gonna get his money. I think the issue that we're gonna have is re-signing Williams when his contract is up. No, our D tackle.
Q. Q.
Yeah, Quentin Williams. I think that's gonna be the money. That's where it's gonna be. The money's gonna.
He might take less. He wanted to be here, so he might take less. But let's see.
Okay.
Let's see.
We're gonna definitely see.
So let's see. Roll Tide.
I know the next subject that I really wanted to talk about.
Well, all the people, no comments. I ain't hear no comments. See no comments.
Yeah, they've been out here.
Oh, maybe I don't have it on. Maybe
no. You gotta click the middle screen.
Oh, there it is. All right, okay.
Comments.
Oh man, it's a lot of comments about you up there.
In there.
Let me see what they're saying about the wise and the woke. Let me see. I don't see what they say. Put them up there. Let me see it.
Well, I put them up there earlier. I
didn't even see. I wasn't even paying attention. Probably some nonsense anyway. So it wasn't much to miss.
I think that one thing that I really want to discuss, and it's because I'm in that profession, and like I said, I talked about it a little earlier that, that I'm going to be referencing playoff games this week in girls high school flag football and boys semifinals game. I'll be on the field. I had a situation of where we had a winning coach complain about the refereeing. And that baffled the heck out of me because it was not a close game. The game was far from being close. And in order for my squad to have moved on after getting graded and scrutinized by the powers that be, that let us know that we had a pretty decent game. But everybody wants to blame referees for the outcomes of the games. Granted, there has been a few games in the NFL that a referee has made a call, a la the Rams and the Saints a few years ago.
That was egregious.
Yeah, so there has been some instances in the NFL that, in my opinion, that a referee has caused a team to lose, but referees are programmed to call what they see. The motto is call what you see and see what you call. There are in the NFL field, there are 8 referees on the field, and you got 22 players. Everybody has a zone that they have to watch, or there's a man that they have to watch. So why is it, and it's just not the NFL, it goes all the way down to youth football. Why does everybody feel that the refs, when they lose a game, and I'm just really going to say lose games, that the refs were the reason why the teams lost? Because over the last 3 years, everybody was saying that the referees were favoring the Kansas City Chiefs. The refs were favoring the Eagles, especially with this tush push, and then they started putting up video evidence. And obviously, the guards were moving forward, but the refs didn't call it because they said they couldn't see it. Now, over the last 2 games, it was for the Cowboys. It's been the refs have, that the teams have had to play the refs. And those on the line and this panel here. And then I'm gonna give my opinion at the end. Why does everybody feel like it's the refs' fault that teams have lost games? I don't care who goes first.
It's a great question, actually. It is a great question. I don't know. A lot of people that always comment like that never really play sports, so they don't understand the nuances of basically the X's and O's and how referees actually play a part in what they need to call. Because every call is subjective anyway. Let's call it what it is. You can have holding on every play. You can have offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference on every play. So it's subjective, right? And a lot of teams, the Eagle fans have been talking trash. The Chiefs fans have been talking trash on Twitter. And I'm like, well, it was okay when it was all right when the calls are going your way. Now the calls are not going your way. Now there's a problem. That's my thing. It's bad when we do it now, right? But when you guys were having the benefits of those calls, it was okay. Oh, well, hey, it's subjective. It could have went either way. But now that the Cowboys seem like they're benefiting from it, now everybody's in an uproar, which is crazy to me. It's crazy. So like I said, man, to me, everything's subjective. To be honest with you, a pass interference call, it shouldn't be where the ball's spotted. It should be maybe a 10 to 15 yard penalty, just like in college, because it's subjective, for crying out loud. There's a lot of hand fighting going on, a lot of bumping. We don't know if it's offensive pass interference or defensive pass interference. Yeah. Holding on every play, because you are tugging on jerseys sometimes. Offensive linemen are tugging on the jerseys. Defensive linemen doing the same thing. To me, all of it's subjective, to be honest with you. You can be called either way. But when one team, namely the Cowboys, benefits from it, that's when there's a problem. When you can shake your head, but it's the truth. If you go on Twitter, the last week, you could see the fans were like, "Oh my God, the Cow did it." I'm like, it's okay when we do it now. I mean,
I didn't even see
it, you know what I'm saying? But when the Cowboys benefit from it, then there's a problem.
I I had like the itis the second half of that game, and I dozed off a few times. Was there a particular play that it was
All
a
of them.
it was
All
a
of them.
bunch it was a bunch of plays
every pass interference that was called
seemed to go the
against CD,
Cowboys' way.
against CD or George
Okay.
Pickens.
R. Pickens.
Yeah.
I think
So
Chiefs had 110 yards worth of penalties in the second half.
wow.
Before you comment on that, you got to add those. There was a 40-yard pass interference,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah,
like
like,
a 20 and
yeah.
a 20-something yard pass interference call. So that's 60 yards right there. So
Yeah.
So
They had a
that
holding
added
penalty too on offense. On Simmons, when he pancaked our defensive end, they called a holding. Everybody was in an uproar because of that too.
I thought it was that play, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, man, I always my philosophy with refs is they're gonna make bad calls, and it usually evens out at the end of the game most times. So I was never one to say, we lost the game because you never lose a game because of one play or one call anyway. So I was never one to really whine about the refs too much. Obviously, you see a call and you don't like it, but then 3 series later, you get the benefit of a call. So to me, these are human beings. This game is fast as hell. You got 270-pound dudes running 4.5s. I mean, it's so fast that you're gonna miss calls, and like you said, a lot of these things are judgment calls. But in the end, it usually evens out for the teams. And if it's not in a game, it'll even out. Throughout the season, you gonna get them the benefits of them same calls. It evens out.
Yeah, makeup calls.
Yeah, exactly. It always seems to even out. Because even in a game, I think it was this game with AJ Brown, he barely touched this guy, and they called offensive pass interference. I'm like, how? I've seen guys grappling.
Now that call there, I did
not
agree
crazy.
with it.
Now that Green Bay game, you talking about that Lions game? That Lions game on Sunday night when they called him for pass interference on the.
I'm talking about the Eagles. I'm talking about the Eagles Bears game. Bears game. AJ Brown was running his route.
Really?
He was just running this route, and just on a comeback route.
It was like an out route, right?
Yeah, an out route. Yeah, it was an out route, but it still was kind of a comeback too. So the DB and AJ were like close in proximity, and AJ's cut caused the DB to
kind of flinch back.
Yeah, flinch back because it was a great route. Right. But they call offensive pass interference. On
that was
AJ
probably
Brown.
A makeup call from the Lions game.
From the
Lions game, because same situation. The Lions defensive had perfect position on him, and what they call him for defensive pass interference when basically it should have been a non-call. That was on 4th down too, or 3rd down. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes there's makeup calls. You referees be like, "Oh, let's give a makeup call."
No, referees don't do that.
You sure?
No, referees don't do that.
They do it in basketball.
No, they do not do that. And I'm gonna tell you why they don't do that. I'm gonna let y'all finish it, then I'll tell you why referees don't do that.
Yeah, I'm done with the referees. I'm just saying. I just see a lot sometimes. I'm like, how could they call that? But it is what it is.
All right, Nikki.
I mean, I'm not one that likes to blame the refs for games either, because I feel like if you do your job you're supposed to do, then you don't have to worry about the refs becoming a part of it. And I always say that. I always say play the game to win for yourself, because you don't know what line the refs gonna toe on whatever. So play the game for yourself and win. I just want to see a game called fairly. If it's really a penalty, give the penalty. If it's not a penalty, then move away from it. I know that they can't see everything on the field. I know they, and I feel like it's things that's missed on both sides. Every time it's a game, it's something missed on both sides. I mean, it should have been it should have been a holding call on Javon Clowney that they missed. That was big because Rice went down the field and they scored. But if they called the holding call that on Javon Clowney being held, it would have been brought back. He wouldn't have been went downfield and they got the touchdown. So I think it's missed calls on both sides. I just want to see games called fairly. That's all. And I hate when they call bad games, they call bad plays, and then when they come back the next day, or New York respond the next day, and New York say, "Oh yeah, well they would have challenged it, it would have got overturned." Well, yeah, that should not why they the ref calling the play, but they got New York on the phone on TV, and he's saying no, it should not be a penalty, but they calling it a penalty. Like y'all not on the same page. Like, what books are y'all studying from? Are y'all both studying from? Are y'all all studying from the same book, or what? Is it different every time? I know every play not gonna be the same, and every penalty ain't gonna be the same. But that's annoying when New York is on the things on those in the corner of the TV saying, "No, that shouldn't be no penalty." Or yeah, that should be a penalty, but they're on field not calling it or not doing it. That's what's annoying. Then the next day, well, if he would have threw the flag, it would have he if he would have threw the flag, and he would have won the challenge. Why ref just didn't get it right from the beginning? You got replay assistance. Why you just didn't get it right from the beginning?
All right, as a to that point there, in the NFL, there's a lot of plays that aren't reviewable, so they can't review them, and I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it. I kind of like what basketball does. Basketball, you can essentially challenge anything, but you only get 2, possibly 3 a game. But you can challenge anything at any given time. And generally, what coaches do is they generally wait toward the end of the game, the end of a half or the end of the game to make those challenges. And I think if the NFL does that it will stop a lot of coaches complaining about calls, big calls. Going back to the subject of why they didn't get a call here, why they didn't get a call there, because it's all about angles. There's sometimes that, with me being on the line, I can't see. There was one game that I was refereeing. I was a deep, and a receiver ran a curl route. The DB was directly in my vision of the receiver and the ball. So being deep, I could not see that the DB made contact with the receiver early. But one of my teammates that was on the line, because he didn't have anything in his zone, he was able to help me out. So I got deemed for not seeing the call or seeing the play. And I'm not saying deemed, but I got criticized for it. But the other referee had a better angle. If somebody else would have been in his zone, his focus would have been on that player that came to his zone. And I just would have, that call just would have got missed. It's 8 players, it's 14. It's 22 players on the field. You generally got 8 refs, and then you do have the eye in the sky, so to speak. But you can't see everything. Now in the pros, Nikki, like you said, that holding call that should have been called for Clowney, I don't understand why that was missed, because you got 2 referees in the backfield. One is watching the left side of the line, the other one is watching the right side of the line. That's why you have so many calls in the NFL, holding calls in the NFL. So why that call wasn't made, I don't know. I can't explain that one. Maybe his focus was someplace else. That's all I can, defend him on. But referees' integrity is at stake. You know, I see a lot of times where people say that, you know, the referees are cheating for this team, the referees are cheating for that team. I don't necessarily think that it's a situation that it's not cheating. It's just that they can't see everything. And there might be some, you know, quarterbacks in the league, a la Patrick Mahomes, a la Tom Brady, a la, I can't think of nobody else lately, the face of the league that might get the benefits of the call. Hell, look how many rules changes have come into place because of Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
During that era, I think there was more. There were more referee changes that benefited the quarterback than anything because of those two guys with the faces of the league.
You're right about that.
Yep.
You know, so I really wish people would stop, because those guys get evaluated. Those guys get, you know, their ultimate goal is to make a Super Bowl. My ultimate goal is to make a state championship, you know. So why would I do anything to jeopardize that? Those guys have, you know, NFL referees have full-time jobs. Most of them are lawyers and CEOs and, you know, own their own businesses and things like that. Why would they put their reputation on the line to cheat for the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Kansas Cities, the Rams? You know, they get, people say they get the benefits of the call. Why would those gentlemen do that? You know, and that's why I don't like the fact that people blame referees. Do I sit up there and I find myself now, and I told the guys this in a meeting a couple weeks ago. I find myself now, especially college football, not watching the game, but watching to see what the refs are doing. Because, you know, I now know what it's like to be on the other side of the ball. I know what it's like to walk out of a stadium and, you know, in a high school game, you got 1,000, 2,000 people, you know, 500, however many is at the game, you know, fussing because they don't like the refs. I'm now used to going to a kids game with 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14-year-old kids. And you're walking out the stadium and you're hearing parents. You know, I had a parent walk up to me one time, and I went to the concession stand to get me something to drink, and I had a parent walk up to me and call me a coon ass N-word.
Oh Lord!
And guess what color she was?
I know she was probably
African American.
Black. She black.
Her team didn't lose because of a call that I made. Her team lost because they were winning, and the coach decided, instead of playing a ball-controlled offense, he decided that he wanted to start throwing the ball down the field, which stopped the clock. Which, when they weren't completing passes, it stops the clock. It gave the other team the chance to get the ball back. The momentum changed, and they scored 2 quick touchdowns on them. That is 100% not the ref's fault. That is 100% coaching. But because they lost the game, they wanted to blame it on the referees. You know.
Don't forget, you have the gambling aspect too. A lot of fans lose a lot of money, and then they blame it on the refs. Yeah. The refs cost me this. The refs cost. So that's another aspect too of actually being a referee.
You know what?
Because of the gambling aspect.
The refs have never been liked. This ain't nothing new. The refs have never been liked in any sport, really, and so it's just part of the culture. You know, they're scapegoated a lot. But like I said before, for me, it just seems like it all usually balances out. You know,
It did for the Eagles against the Bears, I guess.
Oh God, like against the Bears.
Yeah, because like I told
because we got bad calls against us.
When they were playing the Lions, that third down, that was not a defensive actually PI at all.
Okay, but
play. So I guess the referee's like, you know what? You know, AJ Brown push off a little bit. Yeah, that's on offense.
that was a crazy call. That was a crazy call, dog. I was like, I just was like, I was fed up by that time anyway. But I was like, come on now.
One call for another, though. One crazy call for another.
Yeah,
You
you
see,
know,
it
it's
evens itself out, though, right?
yeah,
It evens
yeah, it
itself
does.
out.
It does. I didn't go crazy. I
Uh-huh.
didn't say that's why we lost. It just was a
No, I'm
bad
just
call.
saying. You said they even themselves out, so I was just pointing that out. No
Yeah,
worries.
yeah, they do. They do. Next week we may get a call, you know, or you know, we'll see how it works out. But
well, the fan in me says I hope y'all don't get shit.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? I wish I could say
This is it. This is it for you guys now. You lose this game, your chances going to the playoffs, they said, is going to be about 6%.
I saw that nonsense. Every game from here on out for us is a playoff game. So I'm not even worried about that. We just got to win out.
Well, I'm just saying, you lose
we
this
put
game.
ourselves in this hole. We put ourselves.
But you put yourself back. But you put yourself back in the picture too.
That's
yeah.
it.
So let's put the shoe on the other foot. If you guys lose this game and we win,
we in trouble. We only
okay.
That tie away.
That half a win, you mean?
That tie away. There's no winning in ties. There's no winning in ties.
That half a win.
But yeah, if we lose this game, we're in a very precarious situation. And you know how these things play out. It's like either we both gonna win or both lose. So then we're gonna have to go to the next week anyway. But your time will be running out.
No, why? You play the Commanders twice, and if the Commanders play hard like they did against the Broncos versus Philly, yeah, y'all could be in trouble.
We can lose to anybody, just like you can lose to anybody. We will see how it goes.
We focus, though. We focus, man.
Focus.
We focus.
So yeah, you know. So
I can honestly say this. I think this has been even though we had the tragic happen to us with losing Neyland. This may have been the first season in a while that we hadn't had turmoil in our locker room with players, with the players, because it was a lot of turmoil in the locker room with players. There's a lot of things that didn't come out, a lot of things that never was told, a lot of things that was just kind of like swept under the rug, and they tried their best to move forward from it. But it was a lot of players in the locker room, they didn't like each other. It was a lot of players that had issues with each other. And I'm not gonna call two names. I'm not gonna do it just because I don't
give the numbers. You can give the
numbers. I don't want the bullshit coming at me.
He wears number 1 now.
But you know, one actually said the other day that he would have stayed in Dallas if he had known the other one was going to be gone, and y'all can figure it out from there.
I already know who. You don't got to say too much. We already know. He's balling too.
Yeah, he's playing good. He's playing well. But it was a lot of animosity in the locker room, and in Jerry's mind was, of course, I keep the younger one. Of course, I keep the one that hasn't had the injuries. Of course, I keep the one that, you know, that of course, you know, that I drafted so high up. But I think it kind of it just turned. It just turned around. It just went crazy. It just went separate ways. But so just go back to what I say. Your locker room matters. Your locker room matters. If y'all can't be on one accord in locker room in prayer and go on the field before the game and y'all can't be on one accord in prayer, that's a problem. That's a problem. You walk off while somebody praying for the whole team, that's a problem. Because one certain person praying, you walk off from the prayer. That's a problem.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about something that's not football related. Yeah, I know that we, from time to time we discuss topics that affects the country, and it's not. I don't want to make this a political thing. So when I ask this question, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to, make this show about politics or make this show seem like that we're favoring one party over the other. So let me put that disclaimer out there first.
Tracks.
Considering that we just had the shutdown, and one of the biggest topics of the shutdown was the fact that the president could have opened up funds to use SNAP to pay those recipients, and I think he used that as a leverage to get the to get the Democrats to come back and say, "Hey, let's compromise and open up the country again," because the constituents were getting a little upset. Today has reported that the Trump administration threats to withhold SNAP benefits from blue states over immigration data, because the blue states aren't providing data to the federal government over who's getting these benefits or not. So now he's threatening to take the funds away that provides, the funding for the SNAPs in these states. I think that is, first, to me, it's a privacy thing. I don't, let's say that I receive SNAPs, it's nobody's business on this panel and nobody's business on this show that I'm receiving benefits from the government. So it's to me, it's no different than the medical, than the medical field. It's against the law to discuss, my medical history with anybody else that I don't want to discuss with.
That's right. It's HIPAA.
Yeah. HIPAA. Yeah. So
I don't know if you got some damn food stamps, but send that card this way.
Right. Right.
No.
As far as that's one law I don't mind breaking.
Better not say that too loud.
Hey, I ain't done it. I ain't done it in a while, but I'm gonna do what I got to do. How about that?
Right.
But I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on that. Before we close out our show tonight. Do we think that because like I said, I think I 100% think that SNAP benefit was one of the reasons why the Democrats had to cave in to the government shutdown. And I'll let you guys take it from there.
It's just so much that you can say. I'm trying to be really politically correct right now.
Yeah, it's a lot, you could say. Go ahead, Wayne.
No, I was going to say these states need to fight back. These blue states need to fight back. And what they need to do, and I thought the dude in California had said a couple of months ago what he's going to do, but it didn't materialize. But he said that, all right, I'm going to withhold my taxes. See, most people don't realize that it's the blue states that provide the most taxes that are uplifting these poor red states. They're the poorest in this union, are these red states that will have the lowest education, the most poverty and all that. Those are in the red states.
Yeah.
And so if he wants to do that, you want to take the snaps? Okay, fine. I'm not sending in my state taxes to the government, to Washington. They need this Democrats, they're so soft. They should have never caved at all. They should have broken him with that, because his constituents were the ones who were crying the most. It was him, the farmers, and those low-income people in the what do you call them, the Bible Belt, all those. Yeah, they were the ones who were hurting the most. They are the ones who are the most recipients of these benefits. But the propaganda that goes on in this country now is like, oh, it's only black and brown people that are getting these benefits. No, that's not it at all. So they need to fight back. If he keeps threatening people, they need to push back. See, me, I hate bullies. I hate a bully. And with a bully, if you punch them back in the mouth, they become docile. They don't bully you anymore. And that's what they need to do with this guy. And if he wants to withhold, good, great, do it. If I'm California, a big state like that, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna withhold my money too. How about that? That's what I have to say on that subject.
I'm gonna answer this question just from my end. But do you think it's fair for undocumented immigrants that are getting benefits that citizens aren't being given? Just a thought.
Are they really?
Yeah, they've been doing that in California. That's how they were able to get certain votes, because they were doing that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be politically correct right now, but I'm just saying a lot that they were doing for the immigrants was so they can get their voting rights, so they can vote actually Republican and not Democrat.
So Stoney, I felt like the fact that you put in there undocumented immigrants are getting benefits, I 100% don't think it's fair that undocumented immigrants are getting benefits that some of the U.S. citizens can't get. I 100% agree with that statement, and I will not change my thought process on that. But I also go on what the Statue of Liberty says. The quote on the Statue of Liberty says, does it not say, send me your hungry? Does it not say, send me those who are, I don't know the exact words, so I'm paraphrasing it.
Right.
Those who have been
downtrodden.
Yes, and all that. Those individuals come to the United States because they want a better life. So can we blame them if they use the system to get what they need or what they want? I mean, don't politicians do that all the time? Aren't politicians taking? How many politicians have come from being a what's the lowest form of political office? Councilman? What's the lowest one? Is it a councilman?
Congressman? Oh,
councilman. Yeah, of a district.
Councilman. City councilman.
Yes, yeah. How many of those that went from being a city councilman making a menial salary to becoming a millionaire as a senator?
Yeah.
So and how many of them have taken PAC money from corporations to get their vote in Congress?
Yeah.
So would not consider that the alderman? There you go. Thank you, Cooley. Alderman. Yeah. So wouldn't you take that as somebody benefiting from this? From government, eating off the government. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Nobody likes that woman in Georgia except for her district. But this woman can lead Congress as a millionaire.
Yeah.
Because during COVID and a couple of other times, she was able to take her money and invest it in the stock market.
They do insider trading all the time.
Nancy Pelosi and her husband are almost billionaires because of that.
Yes. So and that's on both sides of the spectrum. That's Democratic and Republican. You know, so I don't like us using benefits to feed the hungry, the poor, whether they are Republican or Democratic. So let me just put that disclaimer out there. Whether they are Republican or Democratic, I don't like them using that benefit to hold governments hostage.
I wanted to say one thing too about these immigrants, just how it's framed here in this country, that all illegal immigrants are brown and black people. It's a lie. There's so many illegal immigrants that fly over here from Europe on these 90-day visas and they never go back home. And nobody ever talks about them. I work in the medical industry. There's so many of these Russians that came over here. They're not documented. They got this, like I said, this 90-day visa, and they're here. And they're flourishing all over the country. And nobody says a word because they're always worried about the border and the black and brown people that are coming off to the border. But they don't care about the people who are flying in because they look a certain way. They don't look like they could harm you, so they say. So my point is, I just, when you hear the word illegal immigrant, just don't think it's a black or brown person. It's usually, or just as consistently, being some European that doesn't speak the language at all. And for some reason, that's fine. Some reason ICE isn't banging down their doors, but you know, they find a way to go into these communities and harass these people. If you're going to do it consistently across all regions of the globe, not only from the South, but from the West as well.
But you know why that's done? I'm going to say one thing. The majority will be a minority soon. And so that's why they trying to put all these other illegal immigrant laws and all this other stuff into place. So we know that. And that's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to go on a tangent, because I do this all the time. My brother, my cousins, we always talk about it. It's just crazy how they do, or they say illegal immigrants, and it's like, yo, we know what you're trying to do. I thought everybody in this country had a right to live and do whatever and try to make money and prosper, but I guess not. It's great. Yeah. It's a crazy world we live in right now.
Yeah.
Well, they the ones voted for him. I mean, they are the ones that voted for him based off of his lies. You know, based off of what things he said. And hey, I don't knock nobody for what their choice is of who they support and who they don't support. That's not for me to judge. But you can't cry wolf when you the reason why things are where they are. Simple as that. You can't you sit in it, waddle in it, do what you have to do with it, because you are part of that reason of why it is what it is. So don't cry wolf now.
But you know what though? He's the master of the bait and switch though. Yeah. He's been like that all his life.
All his life.
So that's who he is. But we know that. We from Northeast New York, New Jersey. We know how he is.
Yeah.
A lot of people may not know how Trump is. Basically, he's the master of the bait and switch.
But you know, now they should know. There's not an excuse
hopefully
anymore.
They better know.
There's not an excuse anymore, and it's not about Democrats or Republican, conservative. You know right from wrong. You know you know that, you know, being a pedophile sympathizer, trying to shove that under the rug is wrong. You know, I have this guy, Stephen A. Smith. Everybody ought to know I hate this guy. And it's because of the things that he says and he does. He's like, oh, nobody cares about these files, these Epstein's files. Who are you speaking for? You're not speaking for me. And it's a shame that this guy has a daughter and he would say something like that. But that's where you find the character of some person. Like you're raising a daughter and you're going to be trying to provide cover for these sexual deviants, these pedophiles. What does that say about you?
Well, you know? I think what Stephen A is trying to do is somebody had the notion to say, "Hey, you should run for president," and he was like, "Hell, I don't know if I want to do it." So now he done got this little show now, and yeah, he's got this little podcast, and now what he's trying to do is he's trying to play both sides of the fence. Hey, I'm gonna speak over here because I don't like what's going on.
He does that in sports too.
Yeah. So,
hey, getting back to the Epstein files for a second, him and Epstein used to be best friends.
Hold on here. We got one of our fans. We got one of our fans here. She's
yeah, she wants. This is the one who want to trash.
Don't be telling on us.
Let her trash the Eagles. That's what she want to do. Get off that and get back to trashing the Eagles. That's what she wants to do.
No, I know what I want to do though. I tell you what I want to do, and then I want to close the show off with this. I want to. We always say that we ought to give our flowers to individuals while they're living. We don't wait till they pass away. I want to give Nikki some flowers tonight. Don't be talking about what. Guess who is covering the Big 12 championship game this Saturday at AT&T Stadium? They're gonna be in the press box.
Oh, awesome!
She's a queen to be.
This woman started with me. Oh my God, it's been so long. I don't even remember how many years it's been.
But I think it was 2017. Maybe sooner than that. I don't know.
I think it was sooner. Yeah, it was a year that no, it was 16.
2016.
Yeah, it was a year that Dak and Zeke were rookies.
Right.
So it was 16. And we started this show. Well, it was called something else. It was called the Fox Experience Sports Show and this, that, and other. And I brought Nikki along, and then we changed it over to Stars Talking Cowboys. But this woman has worked her ass off to get certifications in sports. She and I have kicked people off of this show who has doubted this woman's knowledge of football. Now, this woman is now going to be covering the Big 12 championship game on Saturday. So I tip my hat off to you. I got to show my bald head.
Thank you. And like I always tell you all the time, that I couldn't have done this without you, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. You helped me with my knowledge. You helped me with my skills. You helped me with just learning the ropes of all of it. And I always say to all my fans and everyone that I appreciate you guys. I don't know everything. I don't pretend to know everything. I'm always researching, asking questions. If I don't know the answer, or if I don't, I'm gonna find the answer. A lot of times people don't know. I stay up at night, late at night when we get off the show. I listen to some things that said on the show, and I go do my research on it. So if it comes to me again, I have the answers for it. So it's my passion. I don't do it for stars. I don't do it for money. I don't mind getting on every daily, keeping up with the NFL world, letting everyone know what's going on, especially with our team, the Cowboys, and our division. I think those are the most important things to me. But again, I thank you, Sean. And of course, I thank everyone that trusts me and believe in me. I really appreciate it. And I see some of them on here, like Cooley Cool. Cooley Cool used to get into it every week. We used to get into it every week.
Sure did.
We used to get into it every week.
Cooley Cool has that effect on people. Don't worry about it.
But somehow we carved it out, and now we are Cooley Cool. So yeah, but yeah, I thank you everybody. I appreciate it.
All right. So
hopefully
with that
BYU loses. I got my reasons.
Well,
you got your reasons too, there, buddy.
hey, and that's how I am, Stoney. If I hear some rumors, you know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's times where, you know, I know we know some stuff ahead of time, and because this young lady is so dedicated to her job, that, you know, news don't get out, you know, because she's very dedicated to her job. So if I hear something and I'll be like, oh, that don't sound right, I'll pick up the phone and call Nikki in a heartbeat, and she'll give me the yay and nay. And I've been around her long enough to know that I trust her word. If she says no, that ain't gonna happen, or it is gonna happen, I don't get excited until I hear it from Nikki. It's two people that I don't get it. It's only two people that I get excited about Cowboy news from, and that's if I hear it from ESPN, and really not even really ESPN. Just what's his name?
Who? Adam Schefter.
Adam Schefter.
Adam Schefter.
If I hear from Adam Schefter and I hear from Nikki, then I'll believe it. All right. So with that being said, y'all know what time it is.
Picks time. Picks.
We ain't got time tonight.
We went a little.
It's old man time.
He put that politics in there, took up our pick time.
Yeah,
well, we got
I did.
pick time. We ain't got who got the picks?
No, I took I brought politics in there.
So why don't we just pick the two games then? Our two games.
Okay, we can do that. So we got, was it Eagles and Chargers?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay. Not that I care. Not that I know that.
Y'all never care. Y'all never care. Y'all never
No,
care.
I actually I do.
Never care about anything.
So
I do care, but we'll do that game first. We'll let you go first, Wayne.
I'm in my mindset, it's a must-win game. And you know, I never root for injuries or people to be out, but we in these type of situations, I hope Justin Herbert don't play. I just hope he don't play. I think that gives us a better opportunity to win the game. I hope that they take Nick Foles' suggestion. I doubt they will, but put that dude up in the box, get him off the sideline, and maybe he can focus a little more on the game. And I'm hoping Jalen Hurts, you know, gets back to Jalen Hurts. And what that means is keeping the main thing, and winning the game. They need to win this game. I don't care how it looks. I don't care how many yards he throws. I don't definitely care how many touches A.J. Brown gets. Just win the game. I do think the defense will be bounced back. They were embarrassed. We got, you know, a couple of days to strategize, a couple of more days to strategize, get healthy, and do what we need to do. But it is a must game. It is a must game. Must win game.
Kenyatta?
I got to find out if Herbert's going to play or not. That's what I need to do. I need to find out if Herbert's going to play with his broken left hand. Because the Chargers been playing better, though. They have a good running game. Passing game's decent. Defense been playing well, but it's going to depend on if Herbert's playing or not.
And the running back is coming back, as a matter of fact, too. I forgot to say.
Yeah,
he's
but
coming
the
back.
other running back that's been balling, Anthony could come off the bench right now, to be honest with you.
He probably will, but he's
going
to get carries.
So let's see. Everything's going to depend on Herbert for me right now. Because I can't pick it. I can't pick the game. I need to hear more about what's going to happen with Herbert and his left hand, because he just had surgery on it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Trigger Trey is the backup. So,
yeah, he's the backup. And, you know, I'd rather have him in there.
I bet you would.
I'd rather have him in there. And then I hear that Darius Slay got cut. You told me that, right? Darius Slay?
Yeah, Darius Slay got cut, and he's probably going back to either the Lions or the Eagles.
You know, so
well, it's mighty funny that the Lions started cornerback number 0. They put him on IR today.
Yeah.
And
Mr. Arnold.
and Darius Slay gets cut today. That's
what
mighty coincidental.
Yeah, right.
Well, they said that they made a mutual agreement and with Steelers
Right.
for them to separate and go their separate ways. But
And he was upset about playing time.
right, he was upset about playing time. So he said that he does still want to play, but he's not gonna rush it. So I don't know, whatever that
Yeah,
means.
that's so we don't get no collusion
Conclusion.
cases. We all know that.
Yeah, he going to the Eagles or the Detroit Lions. One of the two. But like I said, I can't pick that game. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I'm
kind of with Kenyatta on that one. First of all, they're playing in. Hey, what's up, Kevin? We understand, man. They're playing in California. They're playing in LA. If Herbert plays, if Herbert plays, and the way Chicago ran over the Eagles, Jim Harbaugh loves to run the ball. He's a run-first coach. If Herbert plays, that play action is going to kill the Eagles, in my opinion, and it's going to be a very close game, and I think that they will pull it out. If Herbert doesn't play, then the Eagles will win it hands down. I have no doubt about it. Nikki?
Yeah. This game is going to hinge on what happens with Herbert. I don't know. Then again, we don't know. We could see Trey Lance come out and ball. We don't know. But I don't think he would, I don't think he would be able to handle. Well, I ain't gonna say that because we said the Bears couldn't do it.
Right.
And they did it, So this game is gonna truly hinge on Herbert. And I'm just surprised they will try to play him knowing, is it his non-throwing in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Non-throwing,
Okay.
But the thing is,
they didn't have that wasn't a good result for the Steelers though with Roger.
He takes the majority, I think, the snaps under center. So, when you taking it like that, jarring it on your broken wrist, I guess we got to see what his pain tolerance is like, and if he can handle it.
Well, they don't give him one of them shots. They ain't gonna feel nothing.
Yeah.
And they playing indoors too. They're playing indoors and not out in the elements. So,
but it's just I'm like I don't know if I don't know. That's just I don't know if that's gonna work out in their favor. I don't know. I'll wait and see though.
I think we all are.
We'll pick in the chat. Wayne.
All right, no problem. I mean, I feel you. It's
we'll pick in the chat.
It's pretty much, I think, a pick'em game too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see how it does. Like I said, it's a must-win for us. We cannot lose this game.
No, Philly is favored by 2.5.
That's pick'em.
Yeah, that's basically pick'em because they're on the road.
Yeah, you get 3 points for being on.
You usually say pick'em in here. It ain't no pick'em.
Well, you get 3 points for you essentially get 2.5 points for being at home.
I know.
Right.
Yeah. So
we're gonna see. I don't know.
All right. Good night, Tangela.
Night.
Thanks for
Tangela.
watching. All right, Cowboys, Lions.
Everybody's taking the Cowboys. This is a must-win, must game for us. We just have to slow down Williams and Gibbs. We got. What
about Montgomery?
Montgomery too.
We got Montgomery.
Don't forget.
To be honest with you, Montgomery hasn't been
Knuckles.
running effectively over the last couple games. I'm more worried about Gibbs and Williams because Gibbs been giving the ball like almost 25 times a game.
Yeah.
And Gibbs lines up at wide receiver, and Brown may not play. So I'm worried about the speed on the perimeter because that's Detroit's game, the speed on the perimeter, more than anything else. Like I said before, they're not going to run inside. They're going to run on the perimeter. And that's where Gibbs comes into play. And then Williams on that 9 route in the post, I'm worried about my Bama boys, to be honest with you. But we should win this game, but I am worried about those two individuals. Their defense right now, they have a lot of injuries, especially at cornerback right now. So I'm not, the defense, I'm not worried. It's just those two Bama boys I'm worried about. That speed, there's no substitute for that speed that they have.
Yeah, and it seems like too, Goff is not playing his best football this year. He's, seems like if you put a lot of pressure on him, they're forcing him into a lot of mistakes. He's not playing his best ball this year.
That's right. And this is a revenge game from last year. They killed us last year. They embarrassed us.
They killed
We're not
us.
going to try to do that to them on Thursday night?
Yeah.
It's a revenge.
They playing the dome. They playing the dome, right?
Yep, they playing the dome. So there's no elements, no nothing. And you saw what Love did to their defense. We got Pickens and Lamb and Ferguson. And all I know is they're going to probably try to ball control, use the clock. They're not going to get in a shootout. They can't.
Wayne, they were asking.
Oh, Kevin, you're gonna have to go back to the beginning and watch the recording of the show. You're gonna see.
I was cool tonight. I was like,
he wasn't too bad tonight.
It was cool.
He was only cool because they lost to the Bears. If they would have won, he would be off the chain right now.
No, it's cool. I'm cool. Don't. Nobody said anything, crazy to me. Like, your man did. You're used to choking, stuff like that. That kind of stuff triggers me when I know the history of your squad. So, but nobody said anything like that today.
My prediction of this game is this is a must-win for both teams.
Right.
I'm 100% with you on that. Goff has been playing horrible. He seems very antsy in the pocket, so we don't have to worry about him running. That part we don't have to worry about.
Right.
With our 3 D tackles coming up the middle, if we could enable him, not allow him to step up into his throws and contain Gibbs, we can win the game. If we don't contain that young man,
you can't get in no shootout.
Yeah. If we can't contain that young man running that ball, if we can't contain him, then it's going to be a long night for us.
Yeah, because he picked up 200 and some yards on the ground against the Giants.
Not mad.
Man, you still mad about that,
Jerome? Not mad.
Don't forget about Williams though. Williams is a game breaker too. We cannot forget about
Williams. But he doesn't run short routes. Everything they throw to him is deep
and crossing routes.
Yeah,
that's
because
he's slight.
That's where we have to not allow Goff to step up in the pocket.
I'm just scared, I watched him play at Bama, so I'm scared. I know what he's capable of doing, and he played well against Green Bay on Thursday night. So that's what I'm saying. We gotta be careful. Them two right there.
Yeah, we definitely gotta watch them. Most definitely. But hey, we just gotta go in and play our game. Play our game. Show up. Get out of there. Don't make terrible decisions. Hold on to the ball, and just try to keep everybody as much as we can healthy. Honestly, I hope Nate start on the line. I hope Tyler Guyton I hope he still can't play this week.
You want to wish him well on nursing his injury.
Yes. Come back when you're ready. Only when you're ready.
Speedy recovery.
Just stay on where you at. And that's kind of how I feel about Diggs. I don't feel like it's kind of how I feel about Diggs. Stay where you at. Like, not this game. This ain't the game for you to be trying to come back. Because I don't need you talking about the this and that. I don't think this the game for him to try to come back. I think he needs to wait another week.
Well, don't we play the Vikings after that and then the Chargers? I mean, we got Jefferson next week, so I mean, pick your poison. Even though they have a quarterback,
they're playing terrible.
Yeah.
Because of the quarterback position, but still Jefferson can go off at any minute.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
we'll see. We'll have this conversation next week.
I got a prediction. I got a prediction.
Okay.
Damn.
No, I refer back to the beginning of the show. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think that, the Lions are similar to the Cowboys, where they're a lot tougher at home. When that crowd gets behind them, they seem to thrive off that. And like I said before, I don't think that Dallas is a very good road team. They haven't been a very good road team this year. They haven't been a very good road team in their history. And I'm going to hold my hat on that. Yeah. And Dak Prescott's history, we already went over that.
We're going to start that. Didn't I tell you the last 3 games?
Can I finish my prediction?
Please let him finish the prediction because old man time here.
It's old man. So we closing out the show. So I really think they're going to squeak it out. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Lions, because their backs are against the wall as well, it's a must win for them as well. And it's going to be a hard hitting rock'em sock'em affair. And I just think that, how they call them, Sonic and Knuckles. I think they're gonna have a big day. I think their running game is going to do very, very well against Dallas.
You hoping?
No, I said I
what
think.
They always say is for me. Real quick,
old man time, but God,
boy, I just feel like you don't win games. You win games in the fourth quarter. So when depending on what the score is when the fourth quarter comes, that's what's gonna tell me a lot about this game, about it, because you win. The games are won in the fourth quarter. That's when they won. They not won in the first quarter or the second quarter, third quarter. They are won in the fourth quarter. If the Lions interior line is still playing bad, we'll be fine.
They can't really rush the passer either, so I'm not worried about it. They are banged up at cornerback. Pickens and Lamb should have a field day.
Yeah, but we said that against Chicago. We said that against the Panthers.
But that's different. This team is different. We have a different mentality right now. You have to understand that too. The mentality is different. We just talked about that, so I'm not really worried about that. Just watch. I'm gonna let them do the talking.
Well, Natalie ain't going to sleep. She's just telling everybody bye.
Yeah, she's telling us bye.
Yeah, she'll be ringing my phone in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, she's telling us that she's a girl with me. It's old man time.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Okay. Well, it's been great, guys.
Next time at 3.
Wayne, it's been always a pleasure to have you on with us.
Thank you.
I think, we know we just got over Thanksgiving, but remember to be kind to each other because we don't know what people have going on behind closed doors. We don't know what people is dealing with. So it doesn't hurt to just be kind to one another and say something positive to one another daily. It's tough times right now. And the holidays are always hard on everybody because we all have loved ones that we missing doing the most during these time of the year. So try to stay together, stand together, one band, one sound. And hey, that's what it is. Have a good night.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.
Next week. Peace.
Roll Tide this weekend. Roll Tide.
Good luck Thursday. Not really, but good luck.
Good night.
Oh, Lord. Peace.